So this time we'll be looking at the Golden Age Hourman, or Rex Tyler. Hourman first appears in Adventure Comics number 48 in 1940. And once again, the DC Direct has gone for a more, I don't want to say generic, but more kind of general, realistic type sculpt, rather than focus on any one artist's rendition of the character. Let's take a look at the sculpt. Again, the costume here is a pretty simple. For articulation, his head goes side to side. His arms go forward, up till and around. The cape does impede the arms going back. And they slightly go in and out, as well as have that slight little pivot at the shoulder. His arms do bend, and this one has a pretty unique leg articulation here in the hip for a DC Direct. Swivels around. It's not like the T shape there, it's more of a ball joint. Even then, it's kind of still pretty limited. In the same wave, the Dr. Midnight, the Golden Age Dr. Midnight, has the same type of hip articulation. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's mine or all of them, the feet don't really aren't in that good of a position to keep him standing up. Because of the cape, it does make him a little bit back heavy. So you gotta play with his, gotta play with him a little bit, twist him and turn him around. Paint wise, it's a pretty good job, and he has no accessories. Well, Rex Tyler is a chemist. That was the thing to do back then, is be a chemist. Like Jay Garrick, and or just a scientist in general. Most of the Mystery Men were scientists who, either through an accident or some kind of discovery, gained their superpowers or superpowered devices. So it's kind of funny. So he's a chemist who is researching vitamins and hormones, and that led to the accidental discovery of this drug that would be able to boost anybody's strength, speed, and stamina for a certain period of time. That period of time, of course, if you haven't guessed from his name, being an hour. And so he names this stuff Miraclo. He decides that he's not going to wait for the FDA. I don't even know if they existed back then in the 40s, but he's not going to wait for some government meanie to tell him, oh, you've got to go through these kind of trials before you can test this out on humans. No, he's going to do what any good scientist does. He's going to test it out on himself. Yeah, I know. You gotta go with it. Part of this is explained is that he doesn't really trust anybody else who's, when they get these powers. He thinks they're gonna go crazy. He thinks that he's the only guy who's going to be able to handle that. So he goes ahead and does that. And uh, what else do you do when you develop a super steroid that gives you superpowers for only 1 hour? Well, of course you're going to become a masked vigilante mystery man, because that's what everybody's doing. I mean, you got Starman, you got Green Lantern, you got the Flash, you got all these guys running around in capes and tights. So why not? Yeah, but he's kind of different, and so he just doesn't go out on patrol. No, since he's only got an hour, he wants to get stuff done in that hour. So the way he goes about helping people is he puts an ad in the paper. What he wants to do is for people to read the paper and then answer his ad and get in touch with him and say, my my brother is in trouble. He owes money to the mob, and or such things. So that's the way he's gonna find people to help. And since it kind of makes sense that he's only got an hour, so he's got to get to it. He becomes a member of the JSA. I can't remember if he's a founding member or not. As he goes on in his career, his crime fighting career, he realizes that Miraclo is actually addictive. He starts to work on a non-addictive form of the drug. He eventually will come up with a non-addictive form of it. But it's not just the drug that he's addicted to. He's addicted to the action. He loves being out there in danger and, getting the heart pumping and smacking some thugs around. And so he has to that's something that he has to deal with throughout his career. If you've seen my other JSA figure reviews, this is going to become a reoccurring theme, is that he's been exposed to different types of things that have kept him young. He is one of the characters that retire in the late 50s when the House Un-American Activities Committee forces the JSA into retirement because they don't want to reveal what their secret identities are. He has a son, Rick, but he has kind of a strange relationship with him. Not that he's a bad father, he's just not around. He's a workaholic. He's addicted to being a superhero, so he's always out there either fighting crime or in the lab late at night. And we'll get more into that because Rick does eventually become Hourman too. In 0 Hour, Extant was thought to have killed him by reversing the age-defying stuff that kept him young. However, what happened was that the Hourman android from the 853rd century actually took him out of that time right before he was hit by the anti-aging or the reverse aging process, and took his place, sacrificed himself to keep the original Rex, Tyler's Hourman, alive. He does not become Hourman. He decides to give up the Hourman persona, let his son be the Hourman, and make up for lost time with his wife. So long, and until my next review, see ya.